Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how you can convert a canvas tent so that you can put a wood burning stove inside. Basically what we're talking about is putting a hole in the wall, but it's a lot more complicated than it sounds because you don't want to mess up your tent. I do have a canvas tent. It's by Kodiak Canvas, and as you can see it's very spacious. It is 10 feet by 14 feet. I love it. But even though it's a 4-season tent, you can still be cold in it. And I just recently got a wood burning stove by Colorado Cylinder Stoves, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to try it out. So the things you need, first of all, you have to have your tent and you have to have your stove physically in your possession. If you're just ordering a stove, you need to wait until you actually get it, because even if you look at the dimensions and you see pictures and everything, it is not the same compared to when you have it in front of you put together. Besides that, you will need to get a patch that will go in the wall. So this is what we're talking about. This is the only one I found on Amazon, and it's right under $50. What I like about it is that it's specifically made for this. So this is all fire retardant or heat resistant fabric, and it has this flap so that when it's not in use, you can cover it. You will also need a marker that you will use to draw a circle on the fabric that you will cut out. So you will obviously need some scissors, and you will need some strong upholstery thread, needles, and some really good glue. You will sew this patch on. You can't just glue it. It's supposed to be sewed on, and that is what will hold it in place. But it's also suggested that you glue it at the edges after it is sewed on. The first step is to put the tent together, and I think this is really important because before I did that, I already figured out where I'm going to put the stove. I remembered what it looks like, how big it is. I was looking at pictures just to kind of remember where all the windows and the doors are and the different style of fabric, and I figured where I'm going to put it. And then when I put the tent together, it just looked very different. I actually had a lot more possibilities, and I'm still kind of trying to decide it. Step 2, you want to decide if you're going to put the pipe, the chimney through the roof or through the wall. If it's going to go through the roof, then it's just basically going to go straight up, and that's an easy option. The other option is that you put the pipe through the wall, so it would either go in a 90-degree angle or in a 45-degree angle. So that means you have to get this elbow pipe. I don't know exactly what they call it. Some of them are flexible, some of them are exactly either 90 degree or 45 degrees. And that would maybe be better. I don't know. I was trying to find one, and apparently they're not that easy to find. What I was concerned about is that if I put that pipe through the wall like that, it will sort of be like maybe resting on it, and I don't want it to like wear down the fabric. I wasn't really sure, so I thought it would be easier if it just goes through the roof. I was looking at a lot of pictures online, and it's kind of half and half. Some people have it through the wall and some people have it straight up through the roof. So I think I'm going to have it through the roof. The other thing is I was trying to decide where to go. I have 2 corners I can put it. Usually I have my cot right there, basically like against the wall, and it takes up most of that wall. So I was thinking that I would put it in the corner. So in this corner it would go either right here or it would be right here, but of course it would be in this corner. And then I was thinking that, well, that's kind of close to the wall, so I'm not sure. So then I was thinking maybe I'll have it sort of here in the middle, more towards the middle. That way the heat is more evenly distributed, and if anybody wanted to go camp with me, I wish, they could put a cot on this side, and there's plenty of room for the dogs and for me to have a table and cook and everything. So I'm still trying to decide it. I'm kind of leaning towards having it right here in the middle. There's a door right here, so when I put up the pipe maybe right here, I can even reach in and put the pipe in and everything. So we'll see how this will work out. Step 3 is to actually put the patch on. So I'm going to bring in the stove and just to kind of see exactly where it would go, and then I will put the patch on the roof and I will sort of somehow secure it so that I know exactly where it will go. And step 4 will be to sort of break down the tent. I will have to take down the top so that it can fall to the ground, at least this one end, I think, and then I can sew it on. Then I will cut out the hole and then I will glue it, and I think we'll be finished. Then of course I will put the tent back up, put the stove back in here, put the chimney through the hole and see if it works. I'm not actually going to burn anything right now, but at least I will see that it works. As you can see, I reversed the order of things I said I was going to do. I started with cutting out the circle in the tent. I didn't want to do it first because I thought that the fabric would rip because the tent is held up with tension rods, but this is a really strong tent, so that was not a problem. So I marked the circle, then cut it out, and then I broke down half of the tent so I can have access to it. And I laid the patch on top and I started sewing it, and it was a little bit hard because my needles were good for upholstery but they were not very sharp, so they had a hard time going through the fabric. So make sure you have quite a few. They kept bending. Make sure they're sharp. And once it's on, then you can glue the sides, but the sewing is what really will keep it in place. And as you can see, I actually cut part of the fabric away from the patch because I didn't want it to touch the pipes. I don't know if it would catch on fire or anything. So you want about 1 inch or more to be away from the pipes. And this is what the final product will look like. What I have here, of course, you don't want to do it like this. You need to make sure that you add the remaining parts of the pipe so that at least a few more feet away from the top of the tent. You don't want the smoke to just come right there. I'm very happy about this stove. I actually haven't used it yet, but putting it together was super easy. It is by Colorado Cylinder Stoves, and they actually have the same model in different sizes. I think this might be one of their smaller sizes because it depends on how much area you want to heat up. So putting it together was super easy. Everything came with it. I didn't have to really get anything. It comes with a warming tray that could go on either side and an optional compartment where you can heat water, and it has a faucet and is basically perfect for washing your hands or washing dishes or even for tea, and even that could go on either side. So this is really cool, and I didn't need anything to put it together. I didn't know what a damper was. I kind of had to Google it, and the pipes already had the hole drilled, so it was fairly easy to put it in there. It came with a spark arrestor, and the directions were pretty easy to understand even for me. The only thing I had to buy was Teflon tape for the threads on the faucet, but that was an easy find in Home Depot. So I would say check them out if you're looking for a wood burning stove. Definitely check them out. I have the link to their website in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I think I did a good job. I guess the real test is tomorrow when I'm going up in the mountains. I will be there for 2 nights, and I will try out this stove in this tent the first time. So stay tuned. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Thank you.